Welcome to my class. This is class 10th science chapter 2 acids and bases lecture 3. In this class we shall learn number 1, it is what that makes a compound an acid or a base, and number 2, what happens with acids and bases on dissolving in water. Let us discuss the first point, that it is what that makes a compound acidic or basic. In the reaction of acids with metals, we saw that hydrogen is evolved besides formation of salt. It means all acids have hydrogen. But water and bases also react with reactive metals to produce hydrogen. It means all the acids have hydrogen, but all hydrogen containing compounds are not acids. We perform an activity to find out that out of which hydrogen containing compounds are acids and which are not. You know that electric current is flow of charges. In liquids and gaseous state, charged atoms or ions conduct electricity and not the electrons, as it happens in metal conductors. Here I have taken aqueous solutions of alcohol, sugar, hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid. I dip these two wires connected to a battery and a bulb in series. First solution is alcohol. Here you can see that the bulb does not glow. And same is true about the sugar. But in aqueous HCl and aqueous H2SO4, you see it glows. It means aqueous solutions of acids contain ions, and one of these ions is hydrogen ion. Point number 2, what happens with acids and bases on dissolution in water? Here, this is NaCl. I dry it on flame and after that it has dried completely. I put concentrated H2SO4 into it. The reaction can be written as NaCl plus concentrated H2SO4 produce Na2SO4 plus HCl. The HCl is a gas at room temperature. On dissolving HCl in water, it becomes hydrochloric acid. Now I bring blue litmus paper near to this dry HCl. You see no change in color. Now I bring a moist litmus paper near to it. You can see that its color has changed to red. This is because HCl ionizes in presence of water, as HCl plus H2O produce H3O plus chloride ions. H3O is called hydronium ion. Here I have taken 5 acids. These all acids are concentrated. In test tube number 1, HCOOH or formic acid. In test tube number 2, HBr or hydrobromic acid. Number 3, HCl or hydrochloric acid. Number 4, HNO3 or nitric acid. And number 5, H2SO4 or sulfuric acid. On adding water to these, let us see what happens with the temperature. First, I measure the temperature of HCOH and water. The initial temperature of HCOOH is 22 degrees Celsius and that of water also 22 degrees Celsius. I add water to it. Now you can see the temperature rises a little bit, just to 23 degrees Celsius. Next, in HBr, the initial temperature is almost same, that is 22, and here water is being added. And you see on the thermometer that the temperature is rising, gone up to 26. Number 3, temperature of concentrated HCl is 22 degrees Celsius approx, and on water being added, it goes up to 29 degrees Celsius. Remember that heat is being constantly lost in the surroundings because we don't have any insulation for this test tube. Next, number 4, HNO3. Initial temperature 22, water being added, the temperature goes up to 26 degrees Celsius. Next, test tube number 5. Initial temperature 22 degrees Celsius. On adding water, the temperature rises. It goes up to 32. It means maximum heat is evolved when H2SO4 and water are mixed. Now answer the question. Here I have added water to the acid. That is not recommended for the reasons that it may cause splashing because of the heat generated. Why was here no splashing? You have to answer this question. Next, in this activity, I have 3 test tubes having water. Water temperature is 23 degrees Celsius. You can see here in the thermometer. I add NaOH pellets. Sodium hydroxide is solid. These pellets I have added to tube number 6. And next, KOH flakes and then calcium hydroxide powder. And you see the temperature in test tube number 7, the temperature rises to 57 degrees Celsius. Test tube number 8, not much change in the temperature, almost remains the same. And in test tube number 6, means NaOH plus water, the temperature rises to 45 degrees Celsius. Here also we observe that on mixing acids or bases in water, heat is evolved. Temperature rises on adding water to acids or bases because they ionize in water, and heat is released when these ions get hydrated. A process in which energy is given out is called exothermic process. Dissolution of an acid or a base in water is an exothermic process. Bases ionize as under. We can write as NaOH plus H2O produce Na positive and OH negative ions, and second equation can be written as KOH plus H2O produce potassium ions and hydroxide ions, and same is with magnesium hydroxide or MgOH2 plus H2O. Magnesium ions plus hydroxide ions or OH negative ions. On adding water to an acid or a base, the concentration of water rises and that of solute concentration decreases. And in the reverse process means when we add concentrated acid to water, then the concentration of acid rises in that water. The process of adding water to the acid or base is called dilution. Concentration is measured in a number of units. Most common is molarity. Molarity of a solution is the number of moles of a solute in 1 liter volume of its solution. In the end, I summarize this lecture. Number 1, we studied that hydrogen ions are responsible for acidic properties of a solution and hydroxide ions for basic properties. Hydrogen compounds that produce hydrogen ions are acids, and metallic hydroxides that ionize to form hydroxide ions are bases. At number 2, we studied that on dissolution of acids and alkalis in water, heat is liberated because they ionize and their ions get hydrated. The hydration of ions liberates heat. Now a question for you. Can a substance show acidic or basic properties without having hydrogen or hydroxide ions in it respectively? That's it, today's lecture. I shall continue this chapter in 4th lecture. Till then, goodbye.